Hello, everyone, and welcome to Scrap Saturdays. I hope you're all doing well. This was a tough layout. Yeah. I'm going to struggle. I thought about not uploading this, and this is not my first time even saying this, right? We all have that one process video that we're like, oh man, it's just not going right. There's nothing that went right on this for me. At least that's how I felt. Like when I look at the layout now, it's in front of me. I love it. It's good. But it went so slowly, so awkwardly, and I just fumbled and rotated and thought about it and unglued things and re-glued things improperly, and I just had to go with it. Yeah, I had to just go with it. So that's why I chose to put it up here. Yeah, that's why I thought, no, I'm all about honesty and talking loud and telling you how it is. So I can't be fake now and only post things that are perfect, because that's unrealistic to begin with. There is no perfect. You've seen me fumble before many times. So I think I have the responsibility to show you what scrapbooking looks like. What does it feel like? Well, it feels crappy sometimes. It feels like everything you're doing is a ginormous struggle. And I've heard everyone else do it when I see them. And it takes a lot of courage to put something up that you feel isn't your best. Because I don't believe anybody out there who does any content for any kind of social media, whether it's an Instagram photo, anything that we do that's going to be in public display, I truly believe that if we're raw and honest, we want it to have some level of perfection. It needs to have a filter on it, just because the realness of it can be hard to tolerate. Not tolerate, no, it's not even the other people, it's yourself. Can I accept putting up this video? Even though you're probably going to look at it and be like, Monica, what's wrong with it? It looks great. And I'm going to thank you for that, and I'm going to understand that. And I'm going to love the concept of all the stamping that I do, of the beautiful picture of myself and my son, because ultimately that's all that matters, right? Because this is the thing that I'm recording. But in my heart, in the moment, right, I have to be allowed to feel that. It's okay to feel unsettled. It's okay to feel not quite adequate enough when you're doing something. And it takes courage. Because secretly, I can inspire you, and you can look at this layout and say, well, I like the way she did this, so I'm going to try that. I don't like the way she did that, so maybe she's right with that. But in the end, it looks great. What is she talking about? Right? And the judgment sits there, and it just sits there. Because sometimes we look at people, right? When you think, oh my gosh, look at my outfit, but I don't like my shoes. And you're thinking, why is she complaining about her shoes? Her shoes look great. But do we take away the right of that person to feel like that? Are we already not just judging the situation for what it is? Because in that moment, that person is feeling like maybe that quite wasn't their best. And so in sharing, maybe you should say, yeah, you know what? I totally understand what you mean. I get what you feel. Because in that moment, right, we're throwing around the word privileged in so many different ways. And I'm so privileged to have a scrapbook room full of things and to have time to scrapbook when there's hundreds and thousands of people suffering in the world. Yes. But does that take away from my feelings? Am I supposed to be less than or feel less than because of? No. Your feelings are still validated no matter which way your life is being chosen to live, no matter what circumstances you are in, right? It's okay to feel like that. There's no guilt or shame. No, we're just being human. We're being honest. And that's what I love about this. I love that I can come on here and I can speak, and sometimes, yes, it's going to resonate, and sometimes, no, it's going to blow over. But hopefully it lets you know that while you're scrapbooking, for this example, for this privileged moment, where I'm complaining about something so simple as crafting, I'm allowed to tell you that sometimes when you're scrapbooking, I want you to know that I feel like you feel. I feel like sometimes I fumble so much that my hot glue gun doesn't stick properly, that things rip up, that I just stuck down that striped piece of paper, but I put out too much of an edge. And I wanted it to be a little bit smaller. But now that it's there, I didn't want to ruin the photo and I just let it be. That I move around triangles and little bits and pieces, and that really in my mind, I have absolutely no idea where this layout is going. But it's going somewhere. It's just I feel forced. I feel fake in this moment. I feel pressure of where my ATG gun starts to stick and I'm frustrated. And I'm angry at that. I don't feel happy in this moment. And I've heard other people, like, I laugh. I remember Missy saying she wanted to throw something across the room. And she says it so truthfully because, yes, you can throw a tantrum when you're scrapbooking. Absolutely. You can have a moment where you're just so freaking done with it. You're like, no, it's just not working out. But be patient. It will. It's going to turn out exactly how it's going to turn out. Because it's already been conceived in that moment. Already what's going to happen from now until 6 o'clock tonight, it's already purposed. It's already done. There's nothing you're going to do that's going to change that. So accepting and allowing of this moment, allowing for a feeling is all that you have to do. And so this is an amazing photo of myself and my son, Augustino. He's 10 years old and we were on our way to Costco. And I don't know what my husband and my daughter went to go do. I think they stopped off somewhere else. And this is my usual selfie where he peeks through from the back seat and I take a picture with him. And he's squinting. He's trying to keep his eyes open as much as he can. But my son has a little bit of a lazy eye on one side where that eye struggles even more on a normal day to stay open. And we embrace it. It's not a negative thing. And it was bright, and I was in that whole funk this summer where everything has to be black and white, because I said so, because I was going to scrapbook black and white photos, because I was changing my direction, I was allowing my wings to grow, and I was ready for a change. And so we took this picture, and these are the types of pictures where I see my kids every day, but I don't look at them. I hope that made sense. Like, I see them every day. But this photograph, this one made me stop when I looked at it, when I was changing it to black and white. I looked at it. And it reminded me that he was growing into a young boy, into a man. And his chiseled face is what I wrote on Instagram. It really took my breath away. It captured me in a moment that I thought, wow, he's getting so big. He's different. He's growing. And I have to stop and enjoy that. And I love his smile. His smile reminds me of my smile. And I think that's one of the best things about photographs is that you can look onto them and you can see yourself. You can dissect the photo and you can pick and choose the features that some belong to your loved ones, your partners, your husband, and then some of them belong to you. And there's a magic to that. There's this magic that you're like, wow, I see me in you. And I see you in you. And so I loved it. Random photo, random day. It wasn't a birthday. There was no reason. There was just enough of a time, of a chance, of a choice to make to take this moment and to remember this, right? That's why I kind of use the stuff that we have. Absolutely, the kits prompt us. But the words in the kits, do they feed into the photos, into the moment, into the memory of what that picture meant to us? Absolutely. I wouldn't pick remember this for a different photo, but for this one, absolutely, because I know in that moment that's what I felt as a mom. I felt he's growing up so fast and he's getting his man face. It's transforming before my eyes, and only in this photo did I see it. Because I look at him every day, like I told you. That's why I chose the word smile. And then once I picked the word smile, I liked the block letters, and I had noticed in the stamp sets that there were more block letters. And I thought to myself, what would I want to do? And so I thought, yeah, I'm going to use the stamps, and I'm going to stamp a row from top to bottom of descriptive words that kind of pertain to him. But again, it's not like the stamp sets were designed with Augustino in mind. They were just randomly designed. But again, they're words that resonate with us, right? That's why we love these things. That's why we love stamps, because the words mean something to us. The hearts mean something to us. The stars, the curlicues, everything. They're just in that moment. And here is where it's like the gluing disaster of the year. This is where I was like, I'm about to press stop and we're not recording this anymore. We're not, because I'm not in the mood. Because my punch thing didn't go right. As you can see, my border, there's a gap there. But again, it was me. There was something about the energy that I was feeling. I think this was late at night after work, and I was forcing myself. Again, I'm going to say, I love it in the end. I understand it. I understand the process. And I do add so much more. So you really have to look at the pictures at the end, because when I ended this video, I added like 20 more different things to it because I couldn't walk away. And that was the perfectionist in me. I was like, oh, Monica, there's something missing. There's just this energy that the page wasn't giving me, and I needed it. I was so stubborn that I thought, no. And let me tell you, I'm just, you know, looking at what I'm doing now, all I feel is that moment where I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm not posting this one. And I even remember, like, I was showing my family, and I usually never have that face where I'm just like, do you guys like this? And they're like, yeah, it's great. And even Augustina was like, Mom, I love it. Thank you. And I think it's masculine-ish. You know, masculine-ish with a flare of flowers. Sure, there are no rules. You decorate your page the way you want to. You put what you want beside those photos, because I'm going to tell you for 100% sure it's not the flowers that they're going to look at and say, wow, she put flowers with her son. No, it's the picture. It's the moment. It's the words that I stamp on there. It's the this that has a ginormous glob of glue. Do you see that right underneath the H? Mm-hmm. I'm telling you, I was like, I've glued acetate 100 different times. But this one time, no, this one time, a big blob of glue comes out underneath the letter H. And if I pulled it up, my base paper would rip. So I had to choose ripped base paper or a big glob of glue. Big glob of glue won. So now here I go, and this part I really liked. I've always wanted to do this, and you're going to have to pardon me for my head, but there's just no other way to stamp. You know, live, raw scrapbooking, that means your head gets in the way sometimes. And basically, in the end, it's going to say, you are creative, kind, happy, determined. Remember this, delightful, just the way you are, nonstop fun. Loved it. Loved the way that turned out, because it was part of it was because I didn't put a journaling tag to this, and I've been on that kick, and I didn't feel that I wanted to anyhow. The other part is that is who he is. He is a very kind, happy, determined, delightful child. And that is who my son is. And I thought, yeah, I tell him that all the time, but I need to document it. He's also, you know, stubborn and competitive and silly at times, but generally he is a really good kid. And we take so much time to remind our kids of the silly things, like they never put away their shoes, or their backpack still at the front door, or how come you never helped to do this? And I think sometimes we forget to tell them the good stuff too, right? The beautiful stuff, the unique stuff of who they are. And I still fumbled. Like here I am, like forcing this today. I wanted the today to do something else, but it was just me. It was my energy wasn't there. And yes, I probably should have stopped and walked away, but let's be honest, that's not me. And I thought, this is the only chance I have to scrapbook, so I should be down here. I should be letting myself practice the art of scrapbooking, right? It's just like yoga. There's no perfection. There's no better person in the classroom. There's days when I go and I'm totally killing it. And then there's other days where I'm teeter-tottering and out of breath and just looking around the room and hoping to God that no one's copying what I'm doing, because everyone's going to the left and I'm totally going to the right. But it's okay, because we're practicing, right? Everybody's practicing. This is the show and tell. This is the show and tell to remind you that it's not perfect. It's still a practice of an art of scrapbooking. So yeah, this little border of scallops, they kind of saved the day. They anchored the other side of the page. They kind of brought me a little bit more happiness. I thought, okay, I'm getting somewhere. It was kind of at this point where I thought I was almost done. And I think that this is where I'm almost ending. I think the next thing I'm going to do is pull up some Heidi Shine. I'm trying to salvage that little smidget, and you know what? I pitched it into the recycling bin. I'm like, Monica, please let go of things. I was holding on. I was trying too hard, and it was just not flowing. So be inspired. Yep. The irony of it all is you must be inspired by the perfect imperfection of this art, of this hobby, of the true storytellers that we say that we are. And that includes the true raw moments of crappy scrapbooking. Even though it looks great, I think the colors work well, everything matches. I shouldn't be as hard as I am on myself, but we all have these moments. The Heidi Shine totally changes the page. Again, same thing, just like that border. I kind of came into it. I kind of felt the vibe a little bit more, and I thought, it's going to get to a point where I can save it. So at the end, because I'm almost done, I'm almost at the hugs and kisses part, please stay tuned for the photo so that you can see the chipboard arrows that I added in. I think that's all that I changed, but it made a big difference. I think at least that it anchored down the rest of the page. Thank you so much. I try to answer all of your comments and send back all the love and kindness that you leave me here. And I am so, so proud to be a part of this community. Please accept my raw truth that sometimes, I'm still going, guys. Look at this. What? Sometimes scrapbooking looks easy, but it's not. Be inspired, do what you love, make time for yourself because this hobby heals. And I will see you guys all very soon.